But our top story this half hour, the U.S. Embassy in Russia is urging Americans not to travel there and to leave the country immediately. The new travel advisory comes as Russian troops push to capture a key city in eastern Ukraine. Foreign correspondent Tom Burridge joins me live now from Lviv, Ukraine. Tom, Russia claims its troops have taken over another village, bringing them closer to gaining control of the eastern city of Bakhmut. Now, Ukrainian officials have a different version of what's happening. So what do we know right now?
Yeah, well, Diane, I think it's clear that the Russians have taken this very small village on the edge of Bakhmut, this eastern city, which Russia has been trying to take for months. So it fits into the picture that the Russians are on the move. They are making incremental gains in that area and maybe in other parts of the front line in the east as they really try and take territory out in eastern Ukraine. The big caveat here is that the Russians are, according to all the evidence we're seeing, taking heavy losses. And the Ukrainians are saying, look, we're still in control of Bakhmut. The city is not encircled, but we're seeing video emerging over this weekend of columns of Russian tanks being destroyed in another part of the front line. Russian military bloggers actually admitting that there was a serious advance in that area which went wrong for the Russians. So yes, the Russians have the momentum. They're moving forward slowly, but at what cost?
Now, Tom, in an exclusive interview with ABC News, Ukraine's Lieutenant General gave us some rare on-camera details. He talks about intelligence provided by the U.S., which has allowed Ukraine to destroy some key Russian targets in occupied parts of Ukraine. How significant is that?
I think it's really significant, Diane. So this was Lieutenant General Serhiy Nayev. He's one of Ukraine's top 5 commanders in the country. He's in charge of all forces across northern Ukraine, close to that border with Belarus. We've had the warnings about possibly Russia launching an attack from there. The Washington Post broke this story from anonymous sources, but I think to have a top-ranking Ukrainian commander go on camera about this and be so explicit about the detail was quite illuminating. I mean, effectively, the Lieutenant General told me that Ukraine is getting real-time data exchanges with the Americans. The US is basically helping Ukraine to pinpoint targets. So the Ukrainians are the ones who are coming forward with the targets. They're saying, OK, we want to target, this is the target, say an ammunition depot in Russian-occupied Ukraine in a certain area. They'll then go to the US, and the US is effectively, according to the Lieutenant General, pinpointing, giving them more accurate coordinates for them to then launch missiles using those US-supplied HIMARS, which we've been seeing so effectively used by the Ukrainians throughout this war. And that has allowed the Ukrainians to hit depots, hit the supplies of the Russian military, break up their supply lines and their command and control centers, the places where generals and other officers will sit, basically directing the war. So it's been hugely, hugely significant. Now, though, the Ukrainians, as we've been hearing, are pressing the US and its allies for longer-range missiles because the Russians have moved a lot of those targets out of range of the missiles for the HIMARS which the Ukrainians currently have.
Yeah, I know a lot of developments there. I know he's also calling this the toughest phase in the war for Ukraine. So much more to come on that. Tom Burridge in Lviv, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.